What are the priorities for Muslims now?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions He has not left any matter from the book of Allah except which there is guidance for us. And from the guidance which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with is that we have to seek our understanding of the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In fact, our knowledge of the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so elevated that the Prophet ﷺ has compared this to the person whom Allah has shown a mercy towards and a special concern towards. When the Prophet ﷺ, when he said, "May yurid bihi khairin faqihu fi din," whomever Allah requires and desires goodness for a person, He gives him an understanding of the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a time for us to understand our faith in its greatest and its widest understanding. We have to think about how we have understood the deen. So therefore, if we have taken snippets from parts of talks or from other aspects from here and there without a systemized understanding of our deen, know that we have great holes or great misunderstandings of parts of our deen in which we really need to understand for us to be able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and therefore also to live within this life of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to expend this life in His worship. And when we understand the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we ourselves become complete human beings. And we become an insan al-kamil, a complete person, how the Prophet was himself. Look at the life of the Prophet, how he was a worshipper, but in addition to that, he was also a servant to the community. How the Prophet ﷺ was a person who removed oppression from over others, and how the Prophet ﷺ was he who brought congeniality and brought peace amongst and between families. So what we understand from this is that if we want to become people who embody the prophetic message and embody the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to also become people who have an understanding of our deen. And our understanding of our deen only comes through study. That it only comes for us to sit down for some moments and to try to comprehend and understand our faith. By us doing this, inshaAllah ta'ala, we'll understand and comprehend our faith. We will become those of whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows His pleasure towards, and whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshaAllah ta'ala will resurrect us with the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, for indeed we've embodied his message of not only to ourselves but to all of humanity.